Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's comic corner, the classic list of known classics. This episode number 3471, Doubleshot number 3365. So, got two DC trades, and, well, one's Batman book, one is by someone who wrote the comics previously. First that we have is Batman Superworld's Finest, Volume 8, 20,000 Leagues. Yeah, Volume 8. This contains issues 35, 37, and along with 40 to 43. Yeah, two stories this one. First is 20,000 Leagues, which is basically just... By the way, Dan Moore does the cover. He does not do the interior at this point. I think he since left the book. With Andrew Garizia on the interior with Sean Izuka. So, basically the first three-parter is involving Batman, Superman, teaming up with Aquaman, of course also with Robin as well, and mostly we deal with some stuff going on in Atlantis, and Lori Lamontis is here. Mentioned, oh yeah, she has a husband. Big conflict, and at one point the book kind of had the first time ever where the way this is established is that this is when Batman first meets Swamp Thing. For the first time, we have flashback how Alec Holland. Actually, no, that was not. So this is not this guy here. That's not Swamp Thing. That's the Philonic Man, Jason Woodrow. And there's even like a brief flashback when he was first like this. Yes, the Philonic Man. So he gets origin story here. Now, later on, Swamp Thing himself does show up in the story, which I thought this was really cool. The fact this is sort of like, yeah, this is obviously an Aquaman story, and then here he is. Here's Swamp Thing. And no, that is not the Swamp Thing Ram V created. This is actually Alec Holland. Pucker Protecting the Green. And it's a quick three-parter, but it's really fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. This is an amazing three-parter. Now, Now you're probably thinking, where's 38? Where's 38 and 39? Well, that's our crossover with Justice League Unlimited. And then you have a four-parter, which also involves Batman, Superman, and Robin dealing with Bizarro and Bizarro Batman. Versus Light in the Town. It's roughly a standalone issue where it's set in where you have Jim Gordon visiting Metropolis. In this very nice standalone issue, which I thought this was really cool. Also, the crossovers include the annual for the series. Yeah, nice standalone. And then the next three issues does deal with Bizarro. Yes. Yeah, it's all about dealing with the whole Bizarro stuff, which, why not? There's even, like, a nod to... Like, apparently Bizarro Batman drives a bizarre version of the Batman animated series Batmobile. I thought that was really cool. There's even a Bizarro Brainiac in here, because of course there is. It's like this whole three-parter just focused on Bizarro World. And at one point I think it's about to explode, but don't worry, it's perfectly fine. But this book overall was a lot of fun. As this was fun. It's like two stories and a standalone issue. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Fantastic book. Next up we have is sadly the second and final trade for this run for The New Gods, which contains issues 7 through 12 of this volume for New Gods, which actually is the 5th volume for the series, called Edge of Darkness. Written by Ram V, artwork by Evan Cullip, Piper, Travis Moore, Stepan Warren, Pablo M. Kohler, Dennis Cohen, Anthony Fowler Jr., Phil Holster, and Andy Parks. The cover art is done by Namit Maliva. So, yeah, and this feels like a lot. This book is called New Gods. It's more like DC Universe book, because we have the Watchtower here, because it involves the Justice League. But we start with Cyborg. Yes, Cyborg. He runs past, of all people, Beast Boy and Anno Man. That's an interesting duo. And then we see Miss Martian. We see members of the Challengers the Unknown. Yeah, this book has got a few different story arcs throughout this whole thing. It's not one 6-part story. No, it's more like a series of, I think it's like 3 2-parters. the stuff here with Metron, which this is something New 52 forgot a lot of the time, because the criticism I have about Metron New 52 is that every time he was seen, he was always seen in the Mobius chair. You never see him get out of the chair. It's like the way Jeff Johns wrote him is like he's confined to that chair. Unless, of course, Wonder Woman takes her last little truth and takes him out of the chair. Here, Randy remembers, oh yeah, he can leave his chair, no problem. But he's not confined to a chair. That was when Jeff Johns made up. So, and then we see Mr. Miracle and Orion with Superman and Green Arrow. You're like, okay. And then we see Agent Chase of the DEO. Interesting. And then we see Jon Stewart. Yeah, it's like a bunch of DC Universe cameos here. I thought this was really cool. We see Wonder Woman. We see Hal Jordan. Yes, he made Mr. Terrific in one of his sporadic appearances he makes of DC Universe. And yeah, mostly it comes to like stuff where it's, I think some humans work with Granny Goodness for reasons. And oh yeah, and Chase is working with Bones, although he's not in the book per se. And then she is shot at somebody by who thinks he's Jonah Hex. Yeah. So then we have stuff here where Wonder Woman's playing with Mr. Miracle's daughter Olivia, which I thought was so cute. The fact Wonder Woman was playing with her, which is so funny. Yeah, who this guy is, don't really know. Well, and then of course Highfather meets his granddaughter. Yes, he does. Yes, he even gets a chance to hold her. Yes, his own granddaughter. And then we see a few Furies, so for some weird reason, Granny Goodness is wearing different attire. And here's Highfather holding his first, well, because the other two races basically in this continuity his first ever grandchild, a girl, which he's so happy about that. The fact he gets to become a grandpa. Yeah. And we cut to this planet where it's run by a lantern. I don't know who he is. And apparently he runs into Bug. Yes, Bug. He is a new god, but he's not a very well known new god. He even got a little mini-series for Young Animal. Yeah, then we just have weird stuff that relates to Edge Darkness, which takes the last few issues of this book. Yeah, and we have the Infinity Men, the Infinity People, the Forever People, excuse me. They're here too. Also, here's a fun fact: did you know the Forever People are actually Mr. Miracle's cousins? Yes, they are. This is revealed by Highfather in the pages of the second volume of Mr. Miracle. Yep. Yeah, and you have basically just stuff going on, and Highfather basically being a grandchild spoiler, and then Lasha shows up here with Granny Goodness. And then we have Wonder Woman Big Barda fighting the Female Furies, which is awesome. And then we go and we see this child here who had been here since the start and has not really done very much at all. Not really. Yeah, it's like this.
Nikki, supper's about ready. Could you come out and grab the salad for your mom, please?
Okay. Can I finish, please? Anyways, yeah. So they pretty much basically deal with a bunch of stuff here, lots of conflict. By the end of this, Highfather steps up as Highfather, and Mr. Miracle becomes new Highfather. Makes sense because he is Mr. Miracle is Highfather's biological son. Makes sense to Orion, who basically is there just to go kill Darkseid. And Orion goes off with Metron and says, "New guns will return. Where? Don't know." Because according to Ram V, this was actually not supposed to be 12 issues. But this book, I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. So final thoughts on this line for New Gods. So according to Ram V, this actually is not supposed to be 12 issues, it's supposed to be 30. So, will it come back? Who knows? I gotta admit, this book was a lot of fun. Not a bad issue. And I like the fact we evolved these superheroes just like in here. I thought it was really cool. And just 2 books overall, these books have been really good. Yes, so Batman Superman was sponsored by trades for that. Unless somehow they release a new trade for New Gods, I probably won't buy any more of that right now. Yep, so yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Well, I can't do a video just yet or watch My Hero Academia Vigilante. That's obviously next. Because I got cups off for dinner. Okay? Thanks, you. Bye.